Hey, 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 hey. You are tuned in to episode 44 of Excuse Me, I'm Speaking. This podcast is being brought to you by me, myself, and I. You can call me Twinkle, call me SheIsTwinkle, or call me Antoinette. As long as you're calling my name, that's all that matters to me. So, with that being said, let's start with the election. In all of my years of life, I've never seen the map that red. The issues that we thought were major issues in the election, they weren't. At this point, who cares about the lives of women? That's how I took the voter turnout. All these stories about women dying, women being near death, it was heartbreaking to me, honestly. I had a major reaction to it the night of the election. I'm a Black woman. I know what it's like to be qualified for a job or promotion, a position, and you're looked over for whatever reasons, because there are several reasons as to why she was not chosen as the president-elect, and I'm not going to debate that. However, I understand what it's like to be more than qualified for a position. You set your heart on getting it. You know that you can do this, and it just slips through your fingers. That, I think, was triggering for me. And at this point in my lifetime, I just am not sure that America will ever be ready for a woman president. Now, I understand that that is not the only reason why she did not receive the right amount of votes to be elected as the next president, but that is a factor as well. So to me, that was a little heartbreaking, and I was just tired. I was like, okay, I can't even go on the podcast and talk about it right now because it was overwhelming, and I had to let it sink in and the reality of another Trump presidency. Also, I still stay informed. So looking at some of these cabinet picks that he's made and the changes that Trump is going to be implementing, what are we going to do about it? Nothing. We will just have to see and hope for the best. And at the end of the day, God is in control. Plain and simple. Let's get into something a little lighter. Yeah, Love is Blind, season 7. Just throw the whole thing away. I was just disappointed. Love is Blind started off in season 1 as a show that just seemed so real and authentic, and it was a really good love experiment. And the idea of falling in love with somebody's mind, that intellectual and emotional stimulation without any type of physical influence, that was just so intriguing. Nobody knew what to expect out of it. And now we're on season 7, and the foolishness that comes along with the casting, because now people know that this is a hit show. So they have different reasons as to why they go on the show. They want that camera time. They want to go on that honeymoon, get Netflix to pay for everything, go try on dresses. But now it's getting to the point where we can tell that y'all don't even like each other. Okay, y'all are acting. It's just not authentic. And in season 7, it started with 7 couples. One got cut in the very beginning. Another one was very toxic and they didn't like each other. Another one, they just trauma bonded. I mean, it was a mess. There were so many breakups. It only came down to 2 weddings and 2 married couples at the end. And I only really believe in one of them, and that's Taylor and Garrett. But Tyler and Ashley, he got 3 sperm babies because he said he donated his eggs, but I mean, not eggs. Y'all see, I can't even talk. I know he don't have eggs, but y'all know what I'm saying. It was just a lot. And I couldn't even finish reviewing that. It was a waste of my time. Throw the whole season away. I loved Love is Blind when it first started, but if they're not going to do better with doing some background checks on some of these castmates, then I think they're going to lose a huge following of people because there was nothing to hold on to in this season. I couldn't do it. So the next season of Love is Blind will be on Valentine's Day. I'll give it one more chance, fingers crossed. But if it is just a mess, I mean, I may as well be watching Flavor of Love. We knew that none of those women on Flavor of Love were in love with Flavor Flav. Come on now. At least I knew that that was entertainment. I was really rooting for these people on Love is Blind, and it was a waste of time. Moving right along. Yeah, let's get to Diddy, okay? Because if y'all remember, Diddy's troubles started last November, November of 2023. Then come January, we see Katt Williams on Club Shay Shay. He is exposing all these people, and Diddy was one of the names that he said. At that time, in January, Diddy already had the lawsuit out from Cassie. Then another lawsuit came out after Katt Williams' interview where he said in 2024, all lies will be exposed. Yeah. Diddy keep trying to get out of jail and he keeps getting denied bail. He's gonna sit in jail till May 2025 on his court date. So we'll see what happens and I'll keep y'all updated. Moving right along. Then we have in the month of November, Mike Tyson fighting Jake Paul in a boxing match. What in the world? When I heard that Mike Tyson agreed to do this fight, I was like, this is stupid. He's 57 years old. Why would he want to put a stain on his reputation? This is dumb. There must be an insane amount of money that comes along with him even agreeing to this deal. Nevertheless, I did not watch the fight. Of course, I've heard about it. I wasn't going to waste my time watching a 20-something-year-old fight a 50-something-year-old. Y'all already know how it ended. Mike Tyson did not win, as to be expected. They both cashed out at the end of the night. So I wholeheartedly believe in the theme song of you take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have it. The facts of life. We had to see him lose, but he came out on top because he won money in the end and he's still intact. No bones broken. People said the fights that came before the main fight were better than Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. Nevertheless, moving right along. Right before the week of Thanksgiving, on that Friday, on the 22nd, Kendrick Lamar surprises us all and he drops a brand new album titled GNX. And I was like, what? Like I saw on YouTube that he released a new video. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. Let me listen. He put out a new song. Then I'm reading the comment and the comments were like, I can't believe he put out a whole album today. Kendrick is the GOAT. And I'm thinking, what? So then I go to Apple Music. I go and look and Kendrick put out 12 songs, 44 minutes long. And when I tell you, I absolutely love this album. I was already a fan of Kendrick Lamar. I love his album, Good Kid, Mad City. But then right behind that would be GNX. The first track on the album is titled Whacked Out Murals. He had a lot to say. Apparently, he's been listening to all the naysayers out there, rappers who are saying something and who aren't saying anything, the rappers that have been siding with Drake. And he's like, enough is enough. Okay. I thought I had one enemy, but I guess I have plenty. That entire track, that first track is everything. Then he has SZA on the album. Her voice is beautiful. She's on Luther and Gloria. All his beats on every single song are absolutely amazing. There are football references all throughout the album. So he's putting this out early in November because by February, during the Super Bowl in which he's performing, he will definitely be able to perform some of these songs. And the football references will tie right in with the game, right? Kendrick Lamar is the type of artist where he sprinkles in a lot of Easter eggs. He's already put out a music video 3 days after he dropped the album to one of the main songs, being Squabble Up. In that music video and throughout the album, you see hints and references at the fact that there may be another album that is going to come out very soon. So a lot of people are speculating that maybe in mid-December, another album of his could come out, or this could in fact be a deluxe album, which would be crazy because Kendrick's songs, several of them, just from this album alone, are featured on the Billboard Top 100 and the Billboard World Top 200. That's insane. So, like, this is Kendrick's year, right? I've listened to this album so many times. The songs that I love on there would be Whacked Out Murals, Hey Now, Luther, Squabble Up, TV Off, Peekaboo, Reincarnated. I mean, I could just keep going. But it is so easy to listen to because it's only 44 minutes long in its entirety. Now, at the same time, Kendrick put this album out week of Thanksgiving. perfect. People are at home. There's nothing in the news cycle. People are putting up reaction videos on YouTube. Podcasters are talking about it. I mean, it is just content gold, right? And he has people's attention. People have time. They're not busy with work and school. But then, just like a hater, we had the good with Kendrick, and here comes the bad with Drake. Drake decides to put out a lawsuit. Drake is suing his record label, which is UMG, Universal Music Group, which is one of the largest record labels that are the parent company of a bunch of other record labels. He is suing them and accusing them of using bots to search Kendrick Lamar's song, Not Like Us. He's trying to make it seem like the song Not Like Us was not as popular as people perceive it to be. He's saying that UMG put 20 on 10. They basically put a bunch of fake streams and plays on that song, and they pushed the song on people in order for people to listen to it. Now, Drake, that is a lie. I know from my phone alone, they could mistake me as a robot because I had the song on repeat when it first came out. Everybody has heard that song. It is a sensation. Everybody's commenting. It is on every single radio station. Get on TikTok. It was a huge phenomenon. But Drake got mad. He got his feelings hurt. He won't accept his loss. So now he wants to blame someone. And he put that lawsuit out right around the time that Kendrick put his album out. But that's not it. The next day, he puts out a defamation lawsuit against UMG for promoting the Not Like Us song, saying that the song had described him to be a PDF file, which I'm saying that because of YouTube, but really it's a pedo. Y'all got that? We all know that these are the lyrics in the song, right? Kendrick Lamar did not make up these claims that Drake liked them young, them as in young girls. He did not make this up out of nowhere. There were fans that were making compilation videos of him with young girls at his concerts that he was very inappropriate with. There are videos of very young actresses had admitted to having Drake's number, texting him. He texts them. When the young actress was asked about the content of their conversations, she said she had to keep it private, but he does give her advice about boys. At the time that Drake was texting her, he's 30 something. But okay. So Kendrick did not come up with these accusations out of nowhere. But if you actually go and look at the lyrics of the song and the words that come before he actually says certified lover boy, certified fill in the blank, it would not be defamation. But whatever the case, I think that he is a hypocrite for trying to file a defamation lawsuit because Drake is the one that made the beef personal. In his song Family Matters, he said some defamatory remarks towards Kendrick Lamar and his fiance. Kendrick Lamar is not taking him to court to sue. Where in rap battle history have you ever heard of the loser taking it to court because they don't like that, for one, your song blew up, and two, because you hurt their feelings and in some way it's affecting their money? Kendrick Lamar did not create these moments. He didn't make up this story. These stories were already out there. That's why YouTubers were able to compile the videos and put them together. But you get mad that you lost the rap battle, and so now you want to sue? Maybe you should have never entered the rap battle to begin with. A lot of people are speculating that Drake is probably suing now, although the song came out in May, because the Super Bowl is in February. I guarantee you that people are expecting him to perform that very song. And even if Kendrick Lamar doesn't say those words in the song that you don't want him to say, the crowd is going to say the words. People are going to know. People at home are going to fill in the blank. Nevertheless, he has not officially filed the lawsuits. Both of these petitions that he put out, they're petitions to file a lawsuit, meaning that He's petitioning for information from the company, the people that he wants to sue, for them to provide him with the adequate information for him to be able to formally sue them. Yeah, it's just weak. It's weak. And it actually backfired on Drake simply because more people, including myself, decided to stream the song Not Like Us again just to prove that this is a popular song. Let's run the song up the charts once again. And that's exactly what has happened. So Kendrick Lamar seems to be winning on all fronts. If y'all have not gotten a chance, you should definitely go and check out GNX. GNX stands for Grand National Experience. It's actually a car that came out in 1987. There were only a few, and it was only made in black. It was a super fast car. Kendrick Lamar was born in 1987. His dad picked him up from the hospital in a black Grand National, which is a GNX. So, yes, everything means something when it comes to Kendrick. So, if you get a chance, definitely go and check that out. It is a good listen. In better news, yeah, President Joe Biden is at the end of his presidency. He knows he is going to have to do the transfer of power. So before he leaves out the door, he's determined to make things right. He told us all that he would not pardon his son, Hunter Biden, but he was like, you know what? Enough is enough. If I'm going out strong and I'm taking my family with me. And that's what it is. So recently it has been announced on all the news networks that Joe Biden pardoned his son, Hunter Biden. There are mixed reviews about this. A lot of people out there are like myself, and they're like, well, yeah, that's his son. Why wouldn't he? He's the president. People have talked about him anyway. They're going to continue to talk about him. They're going to talk about his legacy and how he messed up the United States and yada, 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 yada. So if you're going to talk about me anyway, then I may as well get my son out of here. Y'all have literally elected a felon to become the president, but I cannot pardon my son out of jail. Now, I think a lot of us out there, if we were in jail and our father was the president and he had the power to pardon you, why wouldn't he? Like, okay, whatever. So if y'all gonna talk about Biden anyway, then he was like, okay, well, let me give you something else to talk about. Now, I cannot speak for Biden, but I can tell you what he said in his recent statement. So I looked on whitehouse.gov, and on December 1st, there was a statement put out by President Joe Biden. And it says, today I signed a pardon for my son Hunter. From the day I took office, I said I would not interfere with the Justice Department's decision making. And I kept my word, even as I have watched my son being selectively and unfairly prosecuted. Without aggravating factors like use in a crime, multiple purchases, or buying a weapon as a straw purchaser, people are almost never brought to trial on felony charges solely for how they filled out a gun form. Those who were late paying their taxes because of serious addictions but paid them back subsequently with interest and penalties are typically given non-criminal resolutions. It is clear that Hunter was treated differently. The charges in his cases came about only after several of my political opponents in Congress instigated them to attack me and oppose my election. Then, a carefully negotiated plea deal agreed to by the Department of Justice unraveled in the courtroom, with a number of my political opponents in Congress taking credit for bringing political pressure on the process. Had the plea deal held, it would have been a fair, reasonable resolution of Hunter's cases. No reasonable person who looks at the facts of Hunter's cases can reach any other conclusion than Hunter was singled out only because he is my son, and that is wrong. There has been an effort to break Hunter, who has been 5.5 years sober, even in the face of unrelenting attacks and selective prosecution. In trying to break Hunter, they've tried to break me, and there's no reason to believe it will stop here. Enough is enough. For my entire career, I have followed a simple principle. Just tell the American people the truth. They'll be fair-minded. Here's the truth. I believe in the justice system, But as I have wrestled with this, I also believe raw politics has infected this process and it led to a miscarriage of justice. And once I made this decision this weekend, there was no sense in delaying it further. I hope Americans will understand why a father and a president would come to this decision. And as of that day, Hunter Biden received a full and unconditional pardon. And I say bravo. Because what? America elected a felon to be president. Trump has pardoned all kinds of people with serious offenses. Trump can do whatever he want to do, but y'all get mad because Joe Biden was just trying to be fair and be a good dad. He even took out the time to write a letter, a statement to explain to you why he made the decision he made. He feels like his son was treated unfairly. Other people would not have been put in jail for his offenses. It would have been a non-criminal charge. Whatever the case, bravo to the Biden family. And maybe after this transfer of power, they can just live in peace because Papa Biden, as I like to joke and call him, he just turned 82 this year. Who wants the drama and all that? I know he wanted to run for president again, but why be stressed out? Go live your life. Go be with your kids, your wife, grandkids, all that. It's too much, okay? This season of America is a reality show and you can just bow out gracefully. And that's just my 2 cents on that. Now, in a really quick wrap-ups, we have Ashanti and Nelly. As you know by now, she had a baby. I believe it's a boy. Congratulations to them, the happy couple. We have not seen pictures of the baby, but they've been out and about in public again, and they still seem like a happy newlywed couple. Kudos to them. Also, how about those Chiefs? Yes, the Kansas City Chiefs. We done had some rough games. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. We have not been having blowout games, but Pacheco is back. Shout out to number 10, Pacheco, and we still have a good record. So we are set for the playoffs, and hopefully we can just get better and better with each week. You take the good, you take the bad. You can't win them all. We need to still show up when it counts, and I believe in the Chiefs. So we shall see how this goes. Then last but certainly not least, I've mentioned Katt Williams' name in this podcast several times for a reason. I want to end the quick wrap-ups by making a slight announcement. I was watching Shannon Sharpe. He has a podcast with Ocho Cinco called Nightcap. And on that podcast, he made mention to the fact of there is a potential for a part 2 of a Katt Williams interview. He said he spoke to Katt Williams and he's ready to come back for more.
January the 3rd, 2025 is right around the corner. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Uh-oh. Hey, what happened on January 3rd?
That was the first edition of Katt Williams when it released.
I may have my popcorn ready. Orville Redenbacher, too.
Shannon Sharpe lets us know potentially January 3rd, we should be out on the lookout for a possible part 2. If there's more to say, then I will be sitting there eating popcorn for all 3-5 hours, however long it is. I'm here for it. So y'all stay tuned for that. In today's podcast, I do have a quote of the day. It is by Kamal Ravikant. The quote is, "Life is from the inside out. When you shift on the inside, life shifts on the outside." But that's all I have for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed today's episode, and thank you so much for tuning in to Excuse Me, I'm Speaking. Please be sure to like this video. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel at SheIsTwinkle. Also, be sure to follow me on Instagram at SheIsTwinkle1. And until next time, I love you all. Bye-bye.